Hey guys, this video is homework help, so I'm going to go ahead and go over a few problems from your assignment to help you guys out, to get you guys started. So what we have to do in this assignment, they want us to evaluate each expression, right, with the given variables. If you take a look at number one, our expression is 2x plus 3y, and they're telling us that evaluate it when x is equals to -10 and y is equal to +3. So what you guys have to do, if you watch the other video, I taught you guys how to evaluate expressions. We're going to have to take the -10 and plug it in x. We're going to have to take the 3 and plug it in wherever we have a y. Let me go ahead and work this one out to see what we get. So we have 2. Instead of an x, I'm going to plug in a -10. And then plus 3. Instead of a y, I'm going to substitute it with a 3. Once we do the substitution, now we can work it out. And remember, we have to ask Mr. PEMDAS. Mr. PEMDAS, can you help us out here? Mr. PEMDAS is going to let us know what we have to do first. Do we have parentheses? Yes, we do. But there's nothing happening inside the parentheses, so we skip that step. Exponents, which is a small number on top. We don't have any exponents. We're going to skip this step. What about multiplication or division? And we do have multiplication. Every time we have a parentheses next to a number, that means we have to multiply anything that's outside with anything that's on the inside. We have 2 times -10, and we also have 3 times 3. So let me go ahead and work these out. In the first case, we have 2 times -10. 2 times 10 is 20. And then positive times a negative, different signs, is a negative. Then we have +3 times +3, that should give us +9. So as far as the multiplication and division, we're done. Next, we have to add or subtract from left to right. So we have -20 plus a 9, so I like to circle the number with the sign in the front. And if they're different groups, in this case we have a negative number and a positive, they don't like each other, we're going to subtract. So we're going to subtract 9 from 20, which gives us 11. And of course, you always keep the sign of the bigger group. The 20 is bigger, so I'm going to keep the sign because the 20 wins. Once we evaluate this expression, our answer should be -11. Let's go ahead and work another one out, maybe two more. Let me go ahead and do number 6. If you take a look at number 6, they want us to evaluate -4 times m plus n when m is -3. So I'm going to have to take that number and plug it in where I see m. And when n is -2, so I'm going to have to take that -2 and plug it in wherever I have n. So let me go ahead and rewrite this expression with the values that are given. In this case, we have -4, open parentheses. Instead of an m, I'm going to go ahead and plug in a -3 plus a -2. Okay, so if we ask Mr. PEMDAS, can you please help us out? What do I do first? Mr. PEMDAS tells us that we have to look for parentheses and work out anything inside the parentheses. So our parentheses does have operations on the inside. So I'm going to have to work that part out first. And what do I have to do? Is it add, subtract, multiply, divide? Well, it all depends on the signs. We have -3 plus a -2. What I like to do is circle the number with the sign in the front, circle the number with the sign in the front, and as you can see, we have a -3 and a -2. They're in the same group, so they're actually gonna add up and become more negatives. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy the -4, bring it over, and then inside the parentheses, we have -3 minus a 2. They are going to add up. And of course, they keep on being negatives. That's going to give us -5. And of course, once we do the parentheses, do we have exponents? We don't. And then we multiply or divide from left to right. Now we do have parentheses, so that means with a number outside, that means I'm going to have to multiply these two. And remember that negative times a negative. Remember that the rules from adding and subtracting are different from the rules of multiplying and dividing. So we have negative times a negative is a positive, and then 5 times 4 is 20. So when we evaluate this expression, it gives us 20. And let me go ahead and help you out with one more. And I'm going to go, they say that the last one is always the hardest one. So let's see if that's true. Oh, it's a pretty big expression. So let me go ahead and help you guys out with this one and see how we work out this one. We have, or for the expression, we have 5c minus 4 times 2 plus b. And they want us to plug in a negative 4 wherever you see a b. And they want us to plug in a 10 wherever you see a c. So let me go ahead and rewrite this one to see what it looks like. We have 5 times c is 10 minus 4 times 2 plus b is negative 4. Okay, so going back to Mr. PEMDAS, let me ask him what I do first. He says, look for any parentheses and work out anything on the inside. So the 10, we can't do anything inside this set of parentheses, but I can definitely work that part out. And of course, we're going to add or subtract based on the sign. So let me go ahead and, first of all, let me go ahead and rewrite the first part because I'm not going to do anything with it. 5 and the 10, 5 times 10. Just going to go ahead and bring it over. I'm not going to do anything with the minus 4 right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring it over. But I am going to work out whatever's inside this set of parentheses. So I'm going to circle the number with the sign in the front, and I'm going to circle the number with the sign in the front. We have a 2 and a negative 4. They're different groups. One of them is a positive, the other one's a negative. They don't like each other, so they're going to subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2. And of course, we keep the sign of the bigger number, which is a negative. Now, since we're done with the parentheses, we took care of that. Do we have any exponents? No, we don't. Multiply or divide from left to right. Now, because of space, I'm going to go ahead and work out both multiplication parts. That would be the first one. And of course, this would be the second one right here. Let me go ahead and work them out, and I'll put the value up here. 5 times 10 is 50. And then negative 4 times a negative 2. So negative times a negative is going to give me a positive. 4 times 2 is 8. So we already worked the multiplication and division from left to right. The last step would be to add or subtract from left to right. And we have 50 plus 8. Circle the number with the sign in the front. Both of them are positive. So we're going to end up adding them up, and they keep being positive. So our answer for this one would be 58. And there you have it, guys. I helped you out with 3 problems. Hope this helped. If you have any questions, you can always message me through Messenger or Google Classroom or even my school email. Thank you guys for watching.